Welcome everyone. So, yes, we are back from the survival series world, and well, we're kicking it off with a little bit of a bang, you might want to say. We got some TNT. We have some redstone or buttons. I'm just gonna use some buttons here. But let's see. I need to get maybe a torch or something that's bright. I think I have just some stuff here. So let's just grab these, and as you'll see when we go into here, let me eat some food real quick. I've already cleared out a little bit behind here. I was going to do a little more, but unfortunately I had some other projects I was working on, and I didn't quite get to clearing out some more. But as you can see, we also found a mine, and well, pretty interesting find, I'll say the least. I have two instances running here. You might notice that the volume's a bit different in this one. Actually, I need to adjust my own volume real quick. Alright, so this should be pretty... Okay, this should be better. I think this is the correct one. I'm sorry if it was a little bit too loud. I'll have to edit the beginning here, but I'm kind of getting used to some new settings here. Everything was a little quiet, and there is definitely some things that I could increase volume on, and I will be. I have a new audio set up a little bit. I'm able to do some multitasking. I'm able to do a lot of stuff now. Now I'm able to listen. Basically, I can listen to YouTube videos while I'm recording, and you won't be able to hear it at all. I do need to turn down the volume a little bit though. But yeah, so I can watch tutorials or whatever, really, while I'm doing this, and won't interfere with the recording whatsoever. I thought that was pretty cool, being able to record and watch videos at the same time. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't want to be able to do that? And if you do want to know how exactly I'm doing that, well, I'll inform you if you want to know. Just go ahead and leave me a comment down below, and maybe I'll do even a video kind of showcasing how to do that, what you'll need. I might not kind of physically showcase it, but I'll give you a bit of an explanation as to how you can get your recording set up so that you can listen to videos and record and have separate audio tracks and such. I wouldn't mind doing that. I thought it was a very useful thing to have, because honestly having multiple audio tracks is almost a necessity if you think about it, especially when you're recording with someone else. For instance, when I was recording with ST, I would have his audio separate from mine so that I could edit his audio. That way it would fit perfectly for the recording when we're recording together, because you would see that even if I'm able to hear it really good over through Discord, you can never be sure with how the audio comes through on OBS, and being able to edit something separate like that is very useful. Okay, I was really thinking there'd be a chain reaction. Oh boy. This is so much fun. So let's go ahead and kind of flatten this out a bit. It'll be easier to work with when it's flattened. So why don't we go ahead and get ourselves a little bit of a time lapse going. Eventually I got to get myself maybe like a secondary account or something to record time lapse footage a little better with, but you know, or maybe a mod. I'll have to look into it a little bit, but let's go ahead and just do a bit of a time lapse. Alright, so I went ahead and finished this up, and as you can see, we have some lighting. We have a relatively large area. I think this should accommodate our 14 wide, 22 high machinery, which basically we're just going to be taking the behind the scenes part of it, which is the sorting and calling mechanisms, and putting them behind the wall, because all we need to interact with is the chests. We don't really need anything else. What I'll probably be doing is adding a new component to it for putting stuff into it. However, I'm not sure if that's going to be included in this video, because that might just be separate. However, I do plan on adding it. It will be very nice. I did talk about it before, but we're going to be worrying about that later. Right now, we're just going to get everything set up. We're going to get some modules in there, and we will need to have some more shulker boxes, definitely. I'll be bringing them over here eventually. However, I think what we need to first do is make sure that we have all the supplies. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some supplies prepared, and let's see. So we can use this one. Alright, so we're going to take this. We're going to go all the way over here, and we're just going to place this at the bottom so that we can have access to different tools to help us out. Probably be better to do it over here. There we go. So that should be perfect. We'll come back here and we will fill that up. So I'll be right back with you once I have some supplies like is needed. I'm going to check and see what is actually needed. I don't think I have a list or anything, but yeah, not as prepared as I should be. However, I am relatively prepared. Alright, so I have a little bit done here. As you can see, I went ahead and put the main component. Still need to go ahead and make a... That worked. Just send it through again and that'll flip it back. Nice. Alright, looks like everything's in order here. So what I'm going to be doing is going ahead and sending the items out from here over to here, and we'll have our storage system on this side. That's going to take a little bit of time though, because I'm going to have to design, well, not design, but, well, I'm going to see. I'm thinking I might start building the modules next and kind of keep this. So, I mean, there's still some intermediate parts and components. There's the shulker unloader, as well as the shulker sorter. And those are going to be some components to build for sure, but unfortunately I also need to implement my shulker filler, or rather filling empty shulker boxes, but that's going to take a little bit of time to get implemented. So what I'm going to do is work on that part of it off camera. Not today, but hopefully by the next episode I'll have that part of it done. But what we got here is we have the main component, and then I'm going to go ahead and implement a few cells. I'm trying to figure out how many I would need. I would say it would be good to start out with maybe 5 slots worth of storage. I should have enough to support that much. And then from there, we'll start adding more as is needed. I do not need to add the flow lines in quite yet, because I'm not going to be connecting everything right now. However, by the next episode, I'll be showcasing it being done, and we'll start on maybe another project by then, because they're really, I'm not going to need to go over this very extensively. We'll just pick out maybe a few items during the next episode and go ahead and set them up and test it out, and it should work very well. Oh, and I forgot to mention, but you probably saw them. I brought my shulker boxes over here. This is all I have that were empty. I might have some more that I can sort of spare. I'll try to figure that out. But for now, this is what I got. Majority of mine are in here or are being used right now. So we may need to go on maybe like an end exploration episode or something. I'm thinking not the next one, but later we will need to go exploring the end to find some more shulkers. And of course I'm going to have to get my secondary gear out and we will be doing that. Maybe even the episode after next. I'm not sure. We'll see about that. Although, right now, I'm looking at, during my next set of recordings, I'm actually going to have to double up due to the next week being a eventful week. There's going to be quite a lot of things that I'm going to need to do, work-oriented things, that is. So, unfortunately, due to the nature of the work, I will not have time to record, most likely, due to having to get ready for the work prior to actually doing it. And I just wanted to let you know that some of these videos are going to be a little further ahead than normal. So I might miss out on a couple things I would generally do because of having to record ahead. However, when that does come out, whatever set of videos that's going to be, because I don't know if you know this, but I'm not the one who decides the dates for my videos necessarily. I mean, I'm sort of the one who decides it because I have the ultimate decision, but I'm not well, not really person, but my computer decides for me. I set up an algorithm that'll calculate the dates for me to assign my videos. So, the reason I did that is because it's kind of confusing the way I do it, and if I didn't set up an algorithm, I probably couldn't do it the way I'm doing it. And a lot of times, I'm just going to say this, when I do look at it after I assign videos, sometimes I get confused and think it's done the wrong thing, and it doesn't actually do the wrong thing. I've had to fix it at least one time due to the fact that it's a leap year, and it wasn't calculating that necessarily correctly. I have a correct component for calculating whether or not it's a leap year, but the problem is it wasn't activating correctly, so... But that's fixed. And yeah, it really does work very, very well. And it assigns my videos based off of a set of 4 for 2 weeks worth of content. Of course, I only do half every week. Then it makes sure to assign them for that 2-week period. And it makes sure it gets the correct days and make sure that I can have at least 1 or 2 videos that are very close to when I record them, and then 1 or 2 that are not so close to when I record them. So when it comes to a series or something like that, the way I have it set up right now, I kind of have to like switch out each week. It just depends what week it is. If it's the week that the video is going to come out really soon, like for instance, the Spider-Man PS5 speculation video I did the Friday before that Tuesday, and that was one of my very close to doing it and releasing it. However, other videos might not be done, released until after the 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, but the very next week. So I don't want to get into too much complicated stuff. It's a hybrid system so that I can be prepared just in case something happens. I have some videos there. However, I also have a combination of both those videos that will come out later and videos that are coming out recently. That way I'm able to provide content, but if I'm not able to get something out due to internet connectivity, I can always just reassign a video back a date and wait later, and that would ensure that I don't have to worry about being in a situation where a video doesn't get released. So, there's some interesting things. I mean, I could just wait a long time, but I want to make sure I get videos out that are very close to when I do them, so that my feedback, the feedback I get on the videos is, relevant to what I'm currently doing. Otherwise, if I didn't do it like that, then it might be harder to improve. And I think having videos close to when I do them release really, really helps me interact with all of you guys too. And I do want to say something before we get started on the rest of that. I do want to say this. So I do appreciate everyone that's been over on, supporting videos, and even people that have just been joining the Discord. I have some new stuff going on over there. So please don't forget to go ahead and check back on the Discord server every now and then, because I might not always be on all the time just because of certain reasons, like either I'm recording a video and I like right now, and I might not be able to interact very much, or I might be working on something and I just don't notice. But I will guarantee that if you leave something over on the Discord server, I will answer you. At least right now, the server isn't too full of people, so I can do that right now. I can't guarantee if the server ever does have like too many people that I could, but right now I'm more than capable of doing conversations and stuff on there, so do feel free to hit me up over on the Discord server, the meter, and I do appreciate everyone that has recently joined as well as everyone that has been a part of the meter for a while, and you know, just a big thanks to everyone, and hopefully we can sort of make the meter Discord channel, or meter Discord, a really good place, a good community, and you know, I'm excited to see where it goes. I want to make it more interactive for you guys. I want to make it where you can kind of decide the content a little bit and kind of change the direction of it a bit more, have a little more control over it for what you want to see. And you know, just interacting over there on the Discord server is a surefire way to have some control over the content on the channel. And what I'm going to be implementing hopefully soon will allow you to have more control on the channel. Now, currently there isn't going to be much for this channel, but for the second one, however, I do plan on later on having some polls and such that you can sort of vote on content that you want to see for the channel and different kinds of videos and such, or thumbnails and whatever. So, you know, check it out. Maybe give some, you know, just let me know that you joined, and when you go onto the server, you automatically gain a rank and everything like that. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff on there, and there's a lot of stuff to come on there too, so I just need to know what you want to see. Anyways, I'm going to be right back with you. Alright, so I've been looking at this, and I'm going to go ahead and do something a little different than what I originally planned, but I think what I'm going to do is, instead of building up one of these and then going ahead and building another one, I think what I'm going to do is just show you the sections as I build them up. So I'm just going to show you the first two, and then the rest I'm going to be working on off camera. But here's the first thing that we're going to be doing. Now, as you can see, we got a dropper right here facing downwards. We have ourselves a comparator going into a block, some dust, block, and then a block with some dust on it. Over here into some stone, sticky piston, honey block. Then we have an observer going into another observer over here. Then we have a barrel, and we have a powered rail on top of that. So right here, as you can see, and that should be able to activate it pretty easily. With this, I will explain. So there's a couple different ways I'm looking at this, but I just have a piece of string up here that should keep it from making any sound. However, I'm going to have to test to make sure that that doesn't mess up any of the mechanisms. Mainly block updating. I don't want it to be able to update this block, or the space where the string is. And if it does, then I'll just have to remove that. And I'm not 100% sure if there's any other blocks that could. So we're just either going to have a piece of string, or we might not be able to suppress the sound from it without risking messing the machine up. I went ahead and implemented the rest of this up here. As you can see, we have some barrels going upwards. Now that piece of redstone right there, redstone block, that's not important. This one's, that's going to be used in the next slice next to it, which is a different one. Used to be alternate slices, one for the item itself, the other for the receipt or the request paper for said item. So yes, that will be important later. And as you can see, we're just kind of alternating. So we go from where we were last time. We have a hopper that has a barrel and a hopper on top of that with a barrel. redstone block next to that one. Then we have a hopper, a barrel, and then we kind of go from the side with a hopper, barrel to the side, hopper, and a hopper on top of that. And then on top of that, we have a sorting system. And on top of the sorting system, we have sort of like a just a line of hoppers that'll allow the items to flow into it. Okay, so now we have some layers for this other slice. And as you can see, we have a sticky piston pushing over observer and activating the dropper. As you can see, the note block is what allows that to happen. And I think it gets activated by this other one over here. So when this gets activated, this should also get activated. So they are tied to each other. Alright, so we have the next component put in here. You can see I have the sorter up top here. So from up there you can see the sorter. Pretty simple. We have it going into this barrel. And then you can tell that that's actually not a comparator, that's a repeater going into that barrel right there, activating that piston. You see, we need to be able to break the shulker box after filling it. So, pretty straightforward there. Then we have our comparator there detecting it. And I replaced that piston over there. Sorry about the light. I don't know why it just decides to get very bright underground. And then, yeah. So, for the most part, I did have to redo a little bit that was above here. Apparently I did it backwards. So, there is that. But everything here is in place, so now it's just a matter of repeating, and that will be something I'm going to work on off camera as I have time to do it. This is going to be something it's sort of an ongoing thing, considering I'm going to need to build up my supplies as I need them. And yeah, I have this iron strip here. Let me know where to start it. As you can see, you need at least 5 blocks here, and I got that, so we're good there. These aren't required either. So as you can see, that's what we're looking at as far as requirements. And yeah, I have to cut into the roof a little because, you know, that really didn't blow up. It's not usually uniform the way that stuff blows up. I might have even had to go a little bit further back than the wall. I'm not 100% sure. I think 1 more block. So that's fine. I probably could have had it go back 1 more here, but I lined this one up, as you can see. Well, actually I didn't. Well, yes, I didn't line it up. I was going to have it go into there. Well, I mean, it could still go into there, but yeah, I'm just getting it figured out how I'm going to line stuff up, and really it doesn't need to be straight as far as getting into here. It just needs to be able to flow correctly. I did want to do the shulker, so when you separate a shulker box, then you store that separately into its own little storage area, so that you can deposit stuff into that shulker box. Well, I wanted to use sort of like an ice idea, as far as you have water and ice and it pushes the items into the slots. However, there's a piece of redstone that kind of interferes with that. I could do it with the top though, and I'm probably going to do that. I'm thinking that would work very well. The only reason that I might not, and I'm just going to have to decide on if I want to take the risk, is if you do an ice-based solution, you might run the risk that too many items are going into here, and, you know, you have to have a good flow rate for that not to be a problem. And I'm not 100% sure how fast it will be, or if the flow rate is something I need to worry about. But, you know, we'll just have to see, and maybe we'll test it. I'm not 100% sure. I think by the next episode I'll have a decision, or by the, well, let me put it this way. So the next episode that I have content for this particular build here, which it's not going to be a main focus of whatever episode it is. It's just going to be sort of a smaller thing So it's kind of similar to my other sorting system that I built, except this one is a way more complex, and I mean it's kind of like a more user-friendly version of the one I made before, and it takes up less room, it's more compact, it is a much more efficient solution to the problem, and it uses a lot of more complicated components and ideas for how it works. So I will be getting this finished over time, but as far as this whole project here, you probably aren't going to even see it very often, but I will show you it once I have the rest of it implemented in the world. I have really what I need now. The only thing that's going to be a little more complicated is working on that secondary mechanism I need to add into here that I don't already have, which is to load in an empty one. I think it's going to be relatively simple. I'm also considering using sugarcane now because I kind of need some sugarcane for paper, and it would be useful. Although I'm going to do whatever your choice was, so just know if you've... I did say cactus, and I said chicken, but also sugarcane is possible too. Probably a better option, but I'm going to do whatever you choose, so just let me know in this episode right here. You still have some time from this, and I can't guarantee... Well, when this comes out, you might not necessarily have as much time as you did with the first one. So what I'm going to say here is just let me know, and I'll change it out from wherever it is, and I'll let you know about me changing it. But just let me know if you want to see sugarcane instead of the other two that I suggested in the last one. But anyways, with that being said, I think I have covered the basis, and I have it all laid out, and it is... This right here was a really big project as far as just working on it in the creative world, and even just doing the modules and everything. This was a big project. And not to mention over here, I didn't mention it yet, but over here I have the mechanisms for the elevator, and I kind of had to do a little bit of secondary, or kind of I had to work around that, and it works now. The elevator works perfectly fine. The elevator was up here, and I had to kind of fly and break blocks and to get above it, and then it messed up and I had to rebuild it. I think I might have rebuilt it a little bit better than what it was before, but I don't know. Anyways, it works very well, and the elevator is integrated with all of this being integrated as well. It's very compact, I gotta say that much, and you know, it doesn't take up too much room, as you can see, and let's see, what do we got here? So yeah, just filling some stuff in here, as you can see. This is definitely going to take some time to kind of figure out how I want to have this in here, and how I want to kind of hide stuff, because we're going to have to hide stuff for sure. I still need to make some more, or add in some stuff over here for the items coming into it. However, that is going to be something I do off camera, because you already know that it just needs to flow into here, and then this hopper will pretty much control the rest of it. We will be using the same thing as in the creative world, where we have a water stream of sorts that pushes it into here. I might use a post or something like a fence post right here instead of a sign. I'm not sure. A sign would probably be easier, so we'll just see what comes up, because I have some signs here, so I could just go ahead and place one, really. Yeah, let's just go ahead and place one real quick. That doesn't even take that long. I might be able to place it on the redstone, I'm not sure. Or not. Well, whatever. Anyways, we got our sign there. That's perfect. I mean, it's not aligned very well. Could do something like this. Also, I have something in there for some reason. Not sure why. Didn't remember putting anything in there. This just fell in there and traveled its way to here. Yeah, still need to clear out my inventory. It's a bit full. As you can see, I had some sugarcane and paper from assigning stuff, and now I have my send option, of course, but I already showed you that. Yeah, we have a ton of stuff in the inventory right now. I'm not even joking. It's just full of items, and I need to clear this thing out, but while I'm doing that, I just want to let you know that originally I was planning on doing something a little bit different for this episode. Then I decided I might have a better idea. I think because I'm going to have to double up next week, I'm going to have to see when it releases, because, you know, if I'm not going to be able to do... I usually have like a Tuesday video, and that's kind of going to be interrupted there. By the next Saturday, I'll definitely be done with my work, so maybe we'll be doing something special for that release. I'll just have to see how my video slate lines up for then, but I'm hoping maybe I can do something special then. So just be watching out for an announcement there. Probably have it over on my website as well, so you can check there, but generally Twitter's the best place to check out. And, you know, I usually try to do updates over on my website, but I try to pick and choose whether or not it's something that is... You see, I only do certain kinds of updates on my website for the channel as a whole, or my channels. But I do some that aren't necessarily like that. I mean, you know, there's some more general ones, I would suppose, that I put on there. And it just depends what you're looking at for it. I do plan on doing more updates over there, of course, because honestly, you know, got to do some stuff on the website. And with the game coming out, I'm going to do some stuff over there about the game. So there's a lot coming up on the website eventually. But for now, it's just going to be this way, and I might put a few announcements. But we're going to see how the game development goes that I'm working on right now, and I'm rather excited. I will let you know once I start working on story elements, but as you might know, I haven't actually talked about any story elements because I haven't yet gotten to that. And that's what I mentioned before when I was talking about is that once I get to story elements, I will start mentioning some stuff to you. But right now I am working on inventory system stuff. I'm almost done with it, really. I'm going to be moving on to some other things. But, you know, that is sort of a reveal here. Yes, I'm working on inventory system stuff in my game. I might be done with it by the time you're seeing this, though. So that is the current phase there. And I'm probably going to rework a few things now with the information that I've learned and make things a little more efficient. That's what I'm trying to do, is get rid of unnecessary looping and things like that, and just kind of make it flow very well and not have glitchiness feel. It doesn't really have a glitchiness feel, but my computer is it's a beast, so I want to make sure that you don't have to have what I got in order to run the game. And that's kind of where I'm going right now, is sort of optimizing my systems I got in place. And then once I got them optimized, I got them like I like them, you know, indications and graphics and stuff like that, then I'm going to start working on levels, or, I mean, I'm not even sure I'm going to use levels. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do in that regard, but I'm going to work on the story, which, you know, as far as how the actual game is going to be environment-wise, because, yes, environment, I don't know if that means like building inside of a building, if that means outside of a building. I don't really know what it means. As far as what the environment's going to be. It might even be something abstract for all I know. But we're just going to have to see what it's going to be. But what I do know, and this is something important that you're going to want to remember, is that